Hi, so I've always been a fan of theme park maps, and I like hanging them on my wall. I've got one of the Magic Kingdom the year I was born, and one here of early 80s Kings Island. I think I like these because Mr. Rogers always had maps of the neighborhood of make-believe behind him, so it kind of became my thing too. And without further ado, here's my newest one. It's early 90s, Universal Orlando. The map is actually dated somewhere between 90 and 92. And I'd like to take you on a brief tour of the whole park. Let's begin, shall we? So we enter here from the studio kennel, and we can see the Universal Globe and Fountain, which is pretty iconic. Here we see what looks like a guy scalping tickets, and some fella who's squirting suntan lotion on himself. Outside the main gate, we have Woody Woodpecker, Andy Panda chasing Chilly Willy, and the DeLorean taking off in the parking lot. Moving inside the park, we have another Andy Panda by Lights Camera Action. There's an E.T. atop the Universal Studios store. The Fantastic World of Hanna-Barbera is right next door, and we can see some of its many denizens milling around outside. Here's the Alfred Hitchcock Show and the Bates Motel gift shop. I think a lot of this area is Minions and Despicable Me now. Spoilers, some of these things are going to be depressing going forward. The Murder, She Wrote building is now Transformers. This building was demolished in 2012, along with our many hopes and dreams. Moving back over to Nickelodeon Studios, it's odd that there's no slime geyser here. That geyser would erupt with green-colored water every 10 minutes. Here's where the time capsule would have been buried in April 1992. If you know, you know. Patiently waiting till April 30th, 2042 when they're reportedly going to open that time capsule up and see if the Reebok pumps inside of it still work. There's a Hard Rock Cafe and a roller coaster in most of the space now. We've got the old boneyard of movie props with Bruce right there, of course. The Ghostbusters show right next door, one of my favorites growing up. Pretty sure Jimmy Fallon haunts it now, even though he's technically not dead. I specifically remember being a kid when this opened in 1990 and walking down this street. Here's where Confrontation was. It closed in 2002, and it's the Revenge of the Mummy now. We've got another Woody Woodpecker down here, and here's Winnie Woodpecker. Look that up, it's canon. Surprisingly, there is still a horror makeup show here, and also Mel's Drive-In. This area where they're filming a Western eventually became a Woody Woodpecker kid zone, but now it's DreamWorks themed, so you can get a Shrek pretzel, I guess. Also on this old map, we have the Hard Rock Cafe and the Psycho House, which are also both gone. Again, I'm looking at you, Shrek pretzel. Now up here is the old Earthquake ride, eventually replaced by Fast and Furious, as well as Beetlejuice's Graveyard Review, with both closing on January 5th, 2016. My birthday, by the way. Seriously, Universal, why do you hate me? So things get really dodgy here going forward, but let's get the good news out of the way. The E.T. adventure is still there, because Spielberg wears the pants in that relationship. Animal Actors, I believe, is also still a thing, so good on you for surviving, Animal Actors. Yes, Back to the Future is long gone, but now we have the Springfield area. For now. And you can get a Homer donut and a flaming Moe. It's nothing like getting a DeLorean up to 88 miles per hour, but things could definitely be worse. So there's like a Men in Black ride over here where this Wild West stunt show was. It's hard to imagine which one of those feels more antiquated at this point, a Men in Black ride or a Western stunt show. There's also a stadium over here. I'm not sure what they do with it now, but at one time they do a Bill and Ted show every Halloween there. I saw what I think was the last performance in 2017 after a 26-year run. For me, this is the hardest loss since I'm a huge Jaws fan, but here's the town of Amity, as well as the infamous Jaws ride. I never got to ride this since it wasn't open at the time I was there as a kid. Obviously now this is the Diagon Alley section of the park, and it's not hard to understand why that change was made. Harry Potter is a juggernaut, and despite my love of Jaws, this is a pretty fantastic addition to the park. Theme parks can't remain static, they have to change with the times, but they still include some of these lost rides and characters in their parades and drone shows and merchandise, and I think that's a nice way of celebrating the things we've lost. And that officially ends our tour of Universal Studios Orlando. If I've missed anything here, leave it in the comments. I'm not an expert by all means, I'm just a fan. And now, please exit through the gift shop.
Universal Studios, Florida, the only place on Earth where you can ride the movies.
Also, here's two fish playing cards.